So I think Avella and Pup. So this got buffed a lot. This Xelhua, and it's likely still weaker. It's possible it's still weaker than Pup and Avella, but I want to try it. I really like the change. It kicks in a lot earlier. Level 4 is really a lot earlier than 5. We'll take the Cinderella here. Curse King is tough early in the. Is that person's name just Peter Pants? Oh, yes. Oh, we have a different Peter. Okay. Um, that's weird. So yeah, we're gonna try it out. I just prefer to try it and see how it goes. We could pause here to make sure we can cast a spell. However, casting Magic Research when you're weak means you're not likely to keep it. And I don't think we want to do that. Okay, we end up with a tie. That's, decent outcome for us. We bought a, pretty mediocre starting character. Okay, here we'll do a similar thing. And I wonder if it makes sense here to pause just so we get the second goat. Probably not, because goats are just not impressive early on. This is nice because we definitely get to keep the buff even if we lose the fight. So the change to Xelhua is that rather than your 5s and 6s costing 2 less, 4s, 5s, and 6s cost 3 gold. Not 3 gold less, that's 3 gold. So the 4s have a 1 discount, 5s still have the 2 discount, the 6s actually get a 3 gold discount. So it got buffed sort of on 2 different ways. It starts earlier, then at the top end you actually get even more of a discount. So it's a really cool buff, I think, and hopefully make this character more playable, which I think will be a lot of fun because there's a lot of cool aspects to it. So here, I'd love for the Cutpurse to be able to slay things. I just don't know if it will be able to. And I think because it's unlikely to, we'd rather take the chicken. Because the chicken we can just sell. We can't cast a spell, so that wasn't really up for consideration. Sugar and Spice is only good characters, and we had neutral and evil characters, and that was the same as our offerings. And on 4, you don't generally want to cast a spell unless it's going to be strong enough that it makes up for the loss of a character. Sometimes with like Merlin or Animal Familiars, it's probably just worth it to cast a spell and take a roll. But this isn't the case here, obviously. And we couldn't have cast a spell. So, we'll see how this goes. They're probably a little more powerful than us. They've gotten 2 buffs so far. Ooh, and they get some slays. Well, they're going to be pretty excited about this fight. Although, we're going to tie this. Oh no, we're going to lose because that attacks first. Oh no. Wow, so we did a lot better than I expected, but still got the loss. Okay, this is interesting. Um, so I do like Creeper, and I even like, I mean I don't like Vampire. That's a lie. That was a lie. We're gonna get Creeper, we're gonna cast a spell, and then we're gonna roll. And we're gonna see if anything is reasonable to buy here, and I think the answer is no, unfortunately. We'd love, Adventure to get online, but I don't see how it does. Spellweaver is fine. I wonder if we should pause in the next turn. We could sell 3 things. Get a stag, a spellweaver, and an adventurer. We just sell 2 things, right? Because we can sell the chicken. Oh, then I'd like to cast a spell too. Yeah, we could figure a whole board, I think, and really go for something there. Okay, we'll win this fight. Do they leave the game? Yeah, it looks like they left the game. Huh. Okay, so we'll get this. Maybe we just get this in the stag. It's not worth selling 4 things, right? Because I was thinking of converting this over. I think we do want the adventure. Yeah, so let's go a little bit wacky with it. So this swaps this over, and it makes it easier for it to get the buff. I think we want the stag to attack first. We want this to attack second. We'd love for this to get some buffs, and then we want the adventure to hopefully slay. Oh, I wonder if it makes sense to put this up front. No, I'm doing wacky stuff, right? So my thinking was we put it up front, it won't attack, but it does contribute, it does let things attacks, the stag gets to attack, but then we don't have two things in the back. I think we'd rather just let this get buffed. We could also put this in the back. But I don't think that's better. I think we'd rather have it up front to attack earlier. Maybe not. We do want it to get buffed though. I think we're more worried about the permanent buff than the temporary buff, and we'd like it to get buffed with the creeper here. So hope we get the first attack here. Oh, they had upgraded stag. Oh no. Wow, so this is gonna be a tough, yeah, this is a tough fight, yeah. They have upgraded stag and they attacked first. Wow, and they have double up sarcophagus. That's huge with tiger. They're gonna be in good shape. So we want to cast a spell to buff this. This is as good as, you know, buying anything here, I think. And we'd like to trigger this, so we'll just grab this here. Our 3 cost and lower. Get buffed. Yeah, we'll just take that. It buffs everything we have right now. This is a 3/3 now. We'll take a chicken just in case. Anything interesting? Fortunately, not really. A buff to the adventurer could be interesting. We could put it up front and just make it a little bit easier to trigger, right? I wonder how worthwhile that is. Obviously, triggering adventure is very worthwhile. Yeah, and we can sell something silly, right? I think we want to keep we'll keep the chicken just because it helps consolidate gold a little better. And we're still hoping this gets some buffs from taking some hits. And if the stag attacks, it will buff these back. It's mostly for combat, it's not as much for getting the adventurer to proc anymore. So, and we've already cast a spell, so we can't do this. Oh, the spell also buffs the spell wave. I don't know if we mentioned that as well. Well, we got very lucky. We got the 1 in 4. Fortunately, that won't survive, so we don't get a buff. Well, we're gonna lose this fight. Yeah, well, we're gonna take a lot of damage. They have been upgraded in the back. Down to 19. Okay, so we have 2 4-drops, and they are both cheaper. I think we'll just grab both of them, honestly. They're both pretty strong. Not really strong together, but they are strong in general. And then, are any of these worth grabbing? So if we go good... Yeah, actually, what happens if we just transition to a full good comp, right? Throw this in. And then we want the good mother, which means we need to sell Treant and the Medusa. Makes us buying the Medusa feel a little bit silly. But by the time this triggers in the back, it will be fairly strong, is the hope. And, is that right? Yeah, by the time this goes, it will hopefully survive a bunch of hits. Actually, maybe it's better to have it up front, though. Just go something like this. Yeah, hopefully, like, the adventure will buff it enough that it can survive some hits. And then this can transfer to the back. This will also be buffed. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Oh, we still want to get the adventure to slay a little bit. The further up in level, the discount becomes more pronounced the further up you get. You know, it's a 1 discount on 4s, but it's a 2 discount on 5s, a 3 discounts on 6. That was a great slay for us. That was really unfortunate, obviously. Oh, that was probably the best one we could get. Is there any chance they could attack our Nutcracker? There we go. Okay, so we got 2 attacks on the Nutcracker so far. We will hit 5, which is nice. Let's see some cheap 5-drops. And we don't. These are just 3s. We'll get another spirit. Can we get a book? Is a book any good? Does buff our character. It's not a good character, though. That's probably the weakness of it. Wow, so a bunch of nice... Convert a good character to an evil. No, we don't want to go that direction. Puff Puff's interesting. Spellweave's interesting also. How am I casting that many spells is the issue we're having. Oh, and selling that makes this a lot weaker, right? Okay, so we'll go like this. The idea will be that by the time this triggers, or this will hopefully trigger the adventurer, giving it enough to go, and maybe these will trigger the. Did they change that? They feel like they changed this. I think this art looks a little worse. This looks a little bulkier, but a lot of the art they changed, I think, is a lot better. They changed them like in sort of minor ways. Yeah, we'd really love to hit 6 soon. We're not gonna hit it this turn, obviously. We're sort of banking on winning a fight that we're unlikely to win. So yeah, even if we get if we get 2 procs, we do. Could go for some weird slay comp with that. Okay, that was okay for us. Did survive. Oh, that was obviously the worst attack. So we do have a bulky range character, which means we still have a shot. I think we're gonna win this fight, actually, right? Yeah, we're gonna win this fight just because our range character has enough attack and got a ton of health. So we get the 3 gold, which is huge. So let's try to find some decent 5-drops, right? Take this. Wow, so if we were going, I mean, this is a really nice evil character for this point in the game. We're not married to these good characters, just because of the good mother. Yeah, let's grab this. Let's not pigeonhole ourselves. Oh, perfect. That's so good for us. But when only evil characters dies, I actually kind of like that. Although we probably want the sting just so we can put the adventurer first. We're gonna grab this because it will trigger the Nutcracker right away. I'll also prox this, I guess. Nothing interesting. I feel like book is pretty good. I feel like this. I think this is our strongest thing that we can get on board at the moment. It's actually going to trigger right away, which means we can kind of put it anywhere. Okay, it matters. And hopefully that will weaken everything up, so the adventure... Actually, let's put it in the back, the reason being that we'd like our front board to still be full when this triggers, because we want to be able to get the slay off, and we want to maximize that chance. Well, we just gave them a ton of buffs, so that was nice of us. But now we'll hit 6, which is good for us. We will likely lose this fight, though, because we managed to be just a couple hits too small, right? Oh no, are we gonna tie the fight? No, we're gonna win the fight? Oh my... Wow, I'm an idiot, but range characters, so strong. I can't believe we won that fight. Of all the things we didn't deserve, winning that fight was pretty high on the list. We have some princes, right, but these are monsters. We're getting rid of this. I think we just want this random spell. And we'll buff our character every fight. I actually think we want to just buff a monster here. Wow, we get to upgrade it. First character that dies. +3/+3, I think that's going to be better than this book right here. We'll grab the second mummy. Ooh, we could grab a nice 6. I don't think it's what we're looking for. Another 6. Again, not what we're looking for. Although maybe what we should be looking for is just any 6s. Maybe we're being a little too picky here. We're definitely selling this. I think we're off the good mother, so maybe we just grab the Robin Hood right now. Or Robin Wood. Yeah, okay. We'll put a book in. We have a lot of spell scaling that isn't really doing a ton in our board. What if we put... So the first thing that dies gets the 3/3 buff, so I think we'd rather it be the thing that, you know, gives it stats to other things. Fortunately, they don't have any Ingries, so they're not getting huge buffs from all these things. You get a little extra gold. And they were actually nice enough to cast a spell for us, so Spell Weaver grows a little bit. Although it still seems very, very small. Okay, I think we just take a good boy here. It's so strong with this upgrade that we're getting. So we'll put this first, obviously. We'll buff it. So Good Boy did get nerfed considerably. None of these seem good. We put this back in. I think we want good characters, so we'll just throw this here. We actually have a nice ranged backline. We converted this to good a long time ago. So we have a ranged backline here. We just want this spell to get cast before the spell weaver, and you'd rather put your non-good characters up front because it means that you know, them dying doesn't take away from the good boy value if this doesn't happen to go first. And every time this grows, every time this dies first, it will grow off the coin, which, you know, obviously increases its buff as the game goes on. And, you know, it's cheaper, it's half cost because it costs 3 because of this. So we'll be able to hopefully find some more. Then obviously the Bearsteins, the baby bears, there's a lot of things go with it. Oh, it's not going to die here. It's a little unfortunate because then we won't get the buff. It's nice to want to fight, but we'd like some permanent scaling. Okay, we'll take the Robin Wood here because it only costs 3. We'll take the second good boy. Okay, so we're just full in on this good comp, I think. I think we're just going to start selling stuff. Put the Robin Wood in. We'll put it in the back. And I think we'll take the buff on everything. It's a little hard to pass up. We'll sell this and we'll grab the chicken. It lets us keep a... Sorry, it lets us keep just an extra gold. So we're probably never gonna triple these. Although if we do see another one, it only costs 3, and I think paying 3 for a 5-drop treasure that replaces one of our, you know, weaker ones. Honestly, they're all pretty weak. I remember this person being very strong. They had the... What was it? The sarcophagus. They were strong, and I think they didn't even make use of the sarcophagus, but having the sarcophagus on Tiger is huge. The hope is that we will get... If our thing dies early... So what was my plan here? My plan here was this, that it, My plan here was that this would die first because it has less health, and it would make us more likely to get the buff. However, I think they're probably strong enough that the 14/14 will die. The nice thing is also that the Robin Wood will give this plus 15, meaning the buff will get spread. I think, you know, we have 3 ranged good characters in the backline, which is very, very strong. The only issue is if, you know, our good boys don't die and they get taken out by the sarcophagus. Double sarcophagus triggers can just mow down your entire team pretty quickly. So yeah, as we can see, they have a pretty strong... comp, I'd say. And you can see that we're taking a lot of damage from the spells. That dying gives us a big buff to stats on one of our characters. But yeah, so we're losing our backline already. We should win this fight just because we have a big pile of stats at this point. But you see how close it was. We do knock them out of the game, which is really nice. Yeah, having these, they actually had a really nice combo of cards. They could cast, wow, so many spells a turn if that's what they were going for. I wonder if we're supposed to buff one of these with a Merlin's test, or if it's just not a good idea because a 3 gold is worth a 6-drop here. Grab this for now. You know, the gold values sort of change in a relative way. I think we're probably not casting a spell, so we'll take the free roll. I don't think that's worth it either. We obviously want to keep our good characters on the board. I think Friendly Spirit is probably better than Nutcracker. Although, it's not enough better that we want to stop. The lag sometimes gets you. So we'll just keep this. Obviously, you know, we didn't get too much stronger, but I think we're still fairly strong. We're looking for more good boys, looking for more Robin Woods, obviously. I think we're seeing that the good boy comp is still pretty strong. And Xelhua, I think, is a lot more interesting now. You really get a huge discount late in the game. Okay, so they're going dwarfs. So us getting that trigger right away is huge, and then getting the second trigger. Yeah, I think we're basically 2 piles of stats, and I think that just made our pile bigger than theirs. Also, we have a bunch of ranged characters. Yeah, we're gonna do some damage to them. It would have been nice if that survived. We would have done a little more. Nothing interesting here. Take the coin. Nothing still. Knighthood. I think it's worth it to knighthood a good boy. If this gives, 20/20 to everything, that's significant. It makes it so we're less likely to find, a triple up the good boy and get the treasure. However, just having multiple good boys is actually pretty nice. And if we, if we find the third good boy, which would have been the treasure one, instead we'll sort of have a fifth one. And I think if our front line is all good boys and our back line is all ranged, we're going to be very happy with that, even if we don't get the 6-drop treasure. And we can still find a treasure for the Robin Wood. One thing that's interesting, and I'm thinking about this now, after saying all that, is that because Robin Wood is ranged, having the Robin Hoods exist as separate entities with the good boys is actually very strong for us. We'd really like, if we do upgrade the Robin Hoods, we might want to throw another ranged here. So it might have been better to use the Knighthood on the Robin Wood, meaning that we get the extra power from the upgrade, but we also have, still a full complement of ranged characters. The flip side of that is that the upgrade on Robin Wood isn't super important. The most important thing about Robin Wood here is that it's a ranged good character. So I think the good boy buff might have still been correct. And they obviously have very strong characters just like us. They also have an Echo Wood. So the Echo Wood's going to be very big, but we have ranged characters, which I think are just going to make them look a little bit silly. Although, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, that's what ended up happening, right? They couldn't even trade into our Robin Wood by the end of it. Oh, we'd love an Echo Wood, though. If we find an Echo Wood, we're definitely going for that. Nothing here. We could cast a buff. Yeah, we'll cast a buff. Nothing interesting. Definitely take a Pig Morph at this stage in the game. Still nothing. We wouldn't have minded that. And nothing. So nothing great, but got a little bit stronger with the buff. Really not very much, though. I think I overestimated that when I started that sentence. But we got a Pig Morph, which is going to be strong. I don't remember Merlin's board. I know we fought them pretty recently, but I don't remember exactly what they have. But yeah, I'm excited to see, if we're able to pull this out. It's weird, yeah, XP keeps going. I feel like this is a new thing since the patch that keeps doing the cycles on the XP. We'd obviously need to find more good boys. We still have this sort of dorky looking Nutcracker that's just a 9/12 good character. We could replace it with basically any character, and it would be, better. Oh, this is the dwarfs. Okay, see, they're just a pile of stats, and we're gonna be a better pile of stats, I think. Oh, and we Pig Morph the most important character. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine with what we're doing here. Yeah, everything just gets so big. I don't even know. They'll kill that, right? Oh no, they actually won't even kill that. So they might just be knocked out. Yeah, well, we just knocked them out here. Wow, that was a fantastic game. I think we got down to 19 health and then never lost another battle. Well, that's obviously true, right? Because we ended at 19 health. I think we just, we were losing battles pretty consistently, and then, just hit the wall where we got the good boy and just turned it on them very quickly, and just no one defeated us. So we, our comp really turned on. I was really happy with Xelhua. I think this is a great change. And I encourage everyone to try him out. I haven't bought him. I think we just got him for free that turn. I was going to buy him earlier today, but I think I was like 100 dust short. I think I should have enough now. So, great game.